Hi everybody, great to be here. Welcome and good morning and welcome to the Engineering New Capabilities panel. I thought before introductions I might just set the scene. So this session is about deep tech that rewrites the rules. Sensing, navigating and operating in places legacy systems can't. We're looking at what happens when you stop accepting the limits of current systems. When you decide accuracy and efficiency aren't just incremental improvements, but the keys to unlocking entirely new capabilities. So let us start. Introduce the panel. From the ground beneath our feet to the skies above us, we have two amazing founders on stage today. So let's begin with the ground, with Rusbeh from X-Centric Sciences.
Hello, my name is Rusbeh. I'm with X-Centric Sciences, and we're developing soil measurement tech to help make agriculture more efficient, sustainable, and resilient. Now, so I guess, no, the slide is not coming up. But anyway, so one of the really big advantages of our technology is that we're capturing soil carbon information, which is really, there's a lot of hype around soil carbon markets. There it is. Okay, so that is the device that we're actually commercializing through X-Centric. I'll take a step back and just give you a little background about myself. I did my PhD here in Australia, and over the course of my research invented a sensor for soil carbon quantification, which is what we're commercializing through X-Centric alongside other innovations from our team. So this device actually exists, and we have it here today. So I hope that all of you will come and talk to me after this at our booth. We're located at the end of the table. And the advantage with our technology is that we're getting the carbon information, but we're also getting other critical soil micro and macronutrient data that can be used to inform things like precision agriculture and variable rate fertilizer applications, which have been shown to decrease synthetic fertilizer use by 20% and increase yields by up to 20% and decrease synthetic fertilizer use by up to 40%. So your mileage will vary, but even if we can achieve a few percentage, that's still huge in production systems. So there's a lot of potential for impact here. And
Terrific. So from the ground, we move to the skies with Christelle from Powered by NOA.
Awesome. Hi everyone, I'm Crystal. I'm one of the co-founders of NOA, and we're powering the future of autonomy with wireless charging solutions that help robots and drones operate longer, safer, and without human intervention. So my background is actually in visual arts and design, and I've developed over 25 products over the past few years, and one of those products was actually a chance to design a product with a wireless charging feature in it, but of course I had no knowledge in that area, and that is how I first came across my co-founder Arvin, and we've been working together since, and a few years later we got Chris on board as well, who is our lead engineer, and this is basically where we are today. So in the world of autonomy and robots and drones, it's scaling really fast, but one of the biggest bottlenecks is still power. And so often these machines still rely heavily on manual charging, battery swaps, really bulky infrastructure, and this limits where and how they can actually be deployed. And so this obviously causes a lot of challenges around efficiency, scalability, and reliability. And so we exist basically to build a wireless charging solution that addresses these issues, pure, seamless, and reliable, and we're doing this today. And so all you have to do is not set and, we basically get to set and forget. So seamless operations, the way automation should be.
Thanks. Thank you, Crystal. So I'm curious about how you both are rewriting the rules of what's possible. So within both your industries, you challenge what is normal, whether it's lab-banned soil or drones wanting hours to recharge. So a couple of questions for you. What's the old normal in your field that you refuse to accept? And how does accuracy and efficiency in your tech unlock not just new possibilities, but shatters what everyone else thought were just improvements?
Yeah, so the old normal is currently you have to obtain your field sample and you ship it to a lab, where it's processed and analyzed using really big, bulky lab-based machines. These things are expensive and they're highly fragmented in that they provide only a small picture of the overall soil condition. And so with our technology, we're providing holistic soil measurement that spans beyond carbon that includes things like critical macronutrients that can be used to inform things like precision agriculture and variable rate fertilizer applications that have business implications, but also there's a sustainability case to be made for it as well. So I know that sustainability in a lot of cases in the real world doesn't happen out of the kindness of your heart. It needs to make business sense to adopt a new technology at scale and make the impact that you're trying to have. And in our case, our technology, we're getting critical soil carbon information, but then we're also getting a lot of other soil data like macronutrients to inform more smarter decisions, soil management decisions. So maybe I'll throw it at you now.
Well, when it comes to our space that we're working in, autonomy, robots and drones and whatnot, it's really interesting. Like, there's so much investment and a lot of focus on really advanced software and intelligent systems around this, around hardware, advanced cameras, sensors and whatnot. But still, the only thing that still holds them back, everything stops as soon as the battery stops. And so we asked that question, our team, is like, if you still have to rely on a human to keep an eye on the drone or a robot, swap those batteries, plug something in, is it really autonomous? So those questions are what have been bouncing in our minds, and we thought, we need to do something different. And so we think wireless charging is the solution for that. However, most people often associate wireless charging with our mobile phones, which most of us would know as Qi. And if you've ever driven in a car that has wireless charging and you're charging your phone, it either overheats or it doesn't actually fully charge, and there's a lot of complications around efficiencies. And you can imagine if that headache scales up to like drones and robots, you can imagine how much of a nightmare that would actually be. Pardon me. And so we've come in and we've wanted to build our own system from the ground up. So we pride ourselves in three things. One, really great efficiency. So we've been able to deliver up to 96% energy transfer efficiency. So that means faster, more reliable charging, less heat. The second element is about power levels. So we can actually cater from a few watts right up to several hundred watts, which is where drones and robots sit on average. And the third thing is actually about flexibility. So it's really about whether or not you need, 10 or 100 units, right up to thousands of units, we can actually serve that. And whether it's a plug-and-play wireless charging solution or you actually want it embedded in your actual hardware system, we can do all that.
Thank you. So next up, I'm really hoping you can help audience understand how you both turn proof into adoption. So breakthrough science doesn't mean much if it stays in the lab. So I have a couple of questions for you. I just want to frame them so you answer them thinking that none of us understand your tech. So first question is, what's the one analogy, demo, or proof point that changes minds for non-technical decision makers? And how do you balance the complexity of technology with the simplicity customers or partners need to trust it?
Yeah, I think pilots build trust. We're currently conducting pilots with PepsiCo, which is a huge multinational corporate. They own tons of brands. Smith's is one of them. And so we've actually gone out to farms here in New South Wales and Queensland and sampled soils on potato farms that they use to make these potato chips. So pilots is a big part of that. Non-technical decision makers, I think, will probably have technical people that they rely on, that they will pass your technology off to, who will understand it more than they do. I think for proof points to try and convince non-technical business oriented people, it's the business case. Does your technology make sense? Are there economic benefits for adopting it? And if so, then you can proceed in the pipeline. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Fantastic, thank you.
Yeah, it's really interesting for us because we're essentially, in our world, we're a subsystem within a system. So even more so, our solution is actually very invisible. So irrespective of whether you're technical or non-technical, I think at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. You have to see it to believe it. And so the only way for us as a team, we've always asked, look, in addition to building really great tech now, how can we actually get this tech in the hands of the right people right now? Because early adoption really relies on the tech being out in the real world. And so we've done this in two ways. Pilots is definitely one element, but the two approaches we've taken is the bottom-up scenario where we actually sell dev kits, which look like these. So basically, these are almost like if you're renovating a kitchen or a bathroom and you want to buy some tiles and you just buy a couple of samples first, right, to test before you actually commit to the whole wall. This is almost the same thing for engineers. So they get a taste and a feel of our technology before committing to the full hardware development, because it can be quite costly. And then the second thing is the top-down approach. So we work closely with our customers and our clients on project-based engagements, and we co-develop a solution that's tailored to what they need. And though this is a very slow process, it's very intentional for us right now because, one, it actually builds trust and a closer relationship with our customers, and two, because we're so close with them, the feedback loop is much quicker, so we can keep refining things at a much faster rate. And so this approach actually has really helped us because just in the last 6 to 8 months alone, we've been able to sell our dev kits to high-profile global customers like Amazon Robotics and Thales. And then also we've secured a pilot trial with a drone company based in Melbourne, which was conducted in May, which I'll jump into in the next question.
Thanks, Chris. Really interesting. I'd like to explore what collaboration looks like when it actually works. So if you could name one type of partner who may well be in this room, who could celebrate you tomorrow, who would it be?
Yeah, I think for X-Centric, we're looking to speak to investors, actually. I will clarify that we're not raising funds currently, but we will be in the future. And so I think it's good to get the ball rolling on those conversations now. So if you're an investor, please come find us, come play with our technology and see how it works and talk to our team. That would be the kind of partner that we'd be interested in speaking with. And I will say that you would be among good company among our investors because some of them have already expressed that they're interested in following along. And we're currently funded by some top-tier agricultural companies, including venture capital, including Ag Funder and Artesian. So
that's awesome. Okay, my turn. So for us, I think a perfect example of a partner is our recent collaboration with the Melbourne drone company called Guardian Skies. And so they work in the ag tech space and they specialise in actually protecting farms, so hindering birds from attacking crops and produce. And I've recently learned that one of their prospects apparently had planted, for example, 80,000 strawberries across a plot and lost 50,000 of them. So that's more than 60% of their produce gone just like that. And so Guardian Skies actually had like a really intelligent bird deterrent software side sorted, but the problem was still the access to power. You know, currently they're like existing drones that they looked out there, limited their duration of flight time, which hindered their operational efficiencies, along with like the high investment costs of like hardware to buy drones, enterprise drones these days. And so they came to us and we worked closely with them to develop a wireless charging solution, where essentially now all their drones actually fly, they land, they charge wirelessly and deploy without any human intervention whatsoever. And so what that means is no one needs to be on the ground or on the farm monitoring anything. It actually, like when they observe all the data, they can actually just do that from the office or not on site at all. And so there's a lot of cost savings that and benefit added to, which I got my notes because we only got this data about a week ago, so I just want to make sure that the numbers are correct. But essentially, in terms of proof in the numbers, what they said was typically across a 20-hectare plot, they usually deploy 18 drones, but with our NOA system, they only need to use 6. So that's 2/3 of the savings there. And in terms of monetary value, they save roughly around $200,000 at least, because an average enterprise drone is about $20K. The other stat is that farmers also benefit. So by using Guardian Skies as a service, farmers can also reduce crop losses by up to 50%. But then that's even more than just drones and farms. These efficiencies upstream actually affect all of us downstream, and that's on our supermarket shelves. Because it can be said that it could be the very difference between how much strawberries cost $10 a kilo or $20 a kilo, whether or not you end up getting a strawberry matcha latte or just a matcha latte. So that's important for me. I love matcha lattes. But yeah, this is basically just the great invisible impact that we have, and an indication of a great collaboration and partnership that we've been able to experience this year, which is exciting.
Terrific. All right, I'm just conscious of time. We haven't got long left. So I'd like to bring you both back to what it truly takes to unlock new capability. So I'll ask you both to leave us with this. What is the one commitment or collaboration that would most accelerate your journey right now?
Yeah, okay. So I would really love it if government were to commit to actually support companies like X-Centric, Tech23 companies, for example, with real cold hard cash and put your money where your mouth is. And it's not even really your money, is it? It's government. But this is what I wanted to pull out and show you and kind of make you curious about our technology and to come talk to us after. But this takes money. This does not just happen with programs and we need funding to be able to take the next step. So please support companies like X-Centric, like the other Tech23 companies with meaningful support with cold hard cash. That is the commitment that I ask for from government.
Terrific. Thank you, Rizva.
Yeah, for us, look, the world of autonomy, whether we realise it or not, is rapidly increasing. But as I mentioned earlier, the biggest bottleneck that's holding it back is this invisible layer of power. And so here at our NOA, like the team, we're here to actually build and solve something today. We're not trying to do it in years away. It's actually today using like first design principles to actually optimise existing technology to bring these efficiencies and results that we have. So it takes more, though, than just to build great tech. And so what we really need is an ecosystem of the right partners, the right network, and the right contacts. And so our call to action and request is if you or someone you know in the audience either builds or develops a drone or a robot of some kind that either crawls underground, swims through the water, flies in the sky, does anything in any remote environment, and relies on continuous operations, please, let's chat. We're in the demo area too, so thanks so much.
Thank you, Crystal. That's great. So just in closing, I think there's 3 threads that stand out from this conversation. Accuracy and efficiency aren't just better, but they actually really open new categories of capability. Making the invisible visible is essential for trust and collaboration, and that invisible visible piece is especially true for you're looking for investors, but they won't all be tech savvy. So getting them around that is a really interesting point. And collaboration isn't optional. It's a catalyst that moves proofs to payment. So I'd like to thank you very much for joining me today. You can meet these 2 wonderful people in the Deep Tech Village, and you can also scan the QR code on the screen to connect. But please join me in thanking Roosbar and Christelle.